I'm Mona Santana. This is my daily gratitude list where I list and talk about 5 things I'm grateful for that hopefully you can relate to as well. Today is Thanksgiving. I'm in LA, and obviously in the United States we celebrate Thanksgiving. So I don't know where you are, but if you don't have Thanksgiving where you are, then you might as well join me in practicing gratitude on the day of Thanksgiving, which I think is kind of funny because I consider Thanksgiving every single day, but I figured since it's Thanksgiving here, I would focus on things that are pretty much synonymous with Thanksgiving in the United States. So number 1, I'm grateful for apple pie. I couldn't think of anything that's considered more American than apple pie, so I figured I would be grateful for apple pie because I love apple pie. I mean, who doesn't, right? It's really, really good. It's funny though, because it is considered an American thing, but it's not really American. It's just sort of became something that's synonymous with America, or the United States anyway. And so I say why not? Because it's like as American as apple pie is just a saying, and I think it's still pretty fitting because you can go to pretty much any diner in the entire country and you're gonna find apple pie, and it's really good. It's got like cinnamon usually, and if you've never tried it, if you do come to the United States, you definitely have to give it a shot because it's actually a really tasty pie. And I'm grateful for it. Number 2, I'm grateful for turkeys. I figured I have to be grateful for turkeys on Turkey Day. I call it Turkey Day because I'm a pescatarian. I'm not a vegetarian, but I don't eat birds, especially birds, because the reason that I became a vegetarian at the age of 12, because I had a pet duck, and it occurred to me that eating meat was like eating my duck, because I remember my duck wanted a bite of my sandwich, whatever I was eating, and I was like, no, ducky, because it's like cannibalism. And I thought, wait, it's like I'm eating my pet, ew. So that was just something that, struck me. And so ever since then, I haven't eaten birds especially. So birds for me, obviously Turkey Day, I would call Thanksgiving Turkey Day because I feel like the turkey should at least have some acknowledgement because everybody eats turkeys on Turkey Day, Thanksgiving. I'm very grateful for turkeys because they're really cute and they're amazing looking birds, frankly. I mean, poor little guys every year, they're just, for them, it's like a genocide, isn't it? I know that almost sounds funny, but it's really not, because if you think about it, they're sentient beings, and, their whole life, they're just being raised for food. So the very least that we can do is acknowledge their lives and say thank you very much for this feast that we are about to eat. So I just want to say I'm very, 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 very grateful for turkeys. Number 3, another food that is synonymous with Thanksgiving here are sweet potatoes or yams, depending on where you are in the country, because sweet potatoes tend to be more of a southern thing. But I love sweet potatoes and I love yams, so oh my god, I was just gonna say potato. Anyway, so I love sweet potatoes because they're really good for you, and they're great in a side dish. You can just eat just a sweet potato out of the microwave, and it's like a really quick meal, and they're super good. And recent past, actually, people started frying them like French fries, like instead of regular potatoes, because they are much lower on the glycemic level. So for people who have trouble with their blood sugar, it's actually better. And I don't know, they have all different types of nutrients that are good for you. So I think I have a lot of gratitude for sweet potatoes. Why not think about that, right? Number 4, I am grateful for music. I am choosing music today, even though it's not necessarily something that's specifically about Thanksgiving, but music is everything. Music is the thing I'm probably most grateful for if I had to choose something, even though that's virtually impossible. But the truth is that music is the thing that just kind of keeps, brings us all together. Just think about how many people in your life would not be a part of your life if it wasn't for music. It's funny to me because I think that a lot of times the people that I gravitate to are people that I have a lot of musical taste in common with. It's just, that's kind of my tribe, for lack of a better way of putting it. But if you're having a bad day and you want to feel better, you can just put on a piece of beautiful music and suddenly you're feeling better, because it's that thing. I don't know what it is about music, but it's like it's a sound that creates a vibration that somehow we pick up, and we have a feeling, which is magic. I would say, if there's anything in this world that I would consider to be magic, it would be music. And I just think that it's just such an exceptional thing that we have in our lives that I have so much gratitude for all the time. And I'm sure you can too, because I'm sure you love music too. I think if you don't love music, it's because you're just lying. There's no way that people there. You have to love music. It's bonkers if you don't. I mean, God, that'd just be so weird to not listen to music. I mean, it's everywhere. There's no such thing. There cannot not be music, because you can hear sounds and it's music. Whatever it is. I mean, just birds chirping, it's music, you know. It's really fascinating to think about how much music affects our lives, and it just permeates every single possible thing in our life. It's completely ubiquitous. And I just think it's something that we should be grateful for all the time. And I think today on Thanksgiving is a day where I chose music again. I think I've used it on my list like 3 times now, but it's just, to me, I think it's just such an incredibly great thing that we have in our life. And number 5, I'm grateful for friends and family. That is something that is synonymous with Thanksgiving, because people come together on Thanksgiving to celebrate everything we have, like just to be grateful. And I mean, it started off with, being the whole story of the Native Americans and the Pilgrims and all of that, but it's kind of evolved into a family, way of family gatherings and friends or both or whatever. And I just think it's a great thing to do yearly, to sit down with people maybe you don't get to see all the time, and enjoy a meal. And hopefully you have like a grand presentation. I think it's the thing that makes it an actual expression of gratitude, is when you really take the time and effort and energy to appreciate the food, the feast that we have before us. So I'm very grateful for my friends who are very kind-hearted, lovely people that I have hopefully been good to, or as good to them as they've been to me. So I am very grateful for them. I'm also really grateful for my family, because you only get the one, so you try to do your best with who they are, because you don't choose them. You might not have much in common, but you grew up together, possibly. It depends on your story. I don't know. My story is what it is. And so, I love them all. And even though I don't see them all very much, I do have a lot of gratitude for having 2 brothers and a sister. And obviously my parents. My mom and dad, they're still married. They're great people too, and I love them both. And I just have a lot of gratitude for family and friends. And so thank you for joining me today on Thanksgiving. I think this is the one day out of the year where I get to be extra grateful. And hopefully you can too, because this is something that you should do every day anyway. But as long as it's Thanksgiving, you might as well just really indulge in it, and just pay more attention to those things throughout the year that you're grateful for. And I find that the more that I do that, the more I default to an optimistic way of looking at things in life. And things aren't always going great, obviously, because that's just the nature of life. You're going to have good and bad, but it makes you more resilient, which I think it's a really great benefit to practicing gratitude, having resiliency. And I mean, who wants to wallow in sadness for that long? It makes it a lot easier when you default to noticing the positive things in your life, or noticing the things that are great, that you don't have to kvetch all the time, because it's easy to complain and whine and moan and whatever. We all do it, it's true. But the more you practice gratitude, the less you actually do that, and you start noticing that things are really great. And it makes you a little bit more present, so that you're taking in the moment a little bit more. And I do think that is massive benefit to practicing gratitude. Anyway, So I want to thank you for joining me today. And if you subscribed, I want to thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you could. And I hope you're having a lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.